Wagwan people, like and subscribe to Anfield Uncle Rodz channel. Show some love, you never walk alone.
Shade. What you guys saying? What you guys saying? Back again for another show. Should be joined by Liverpool champ man, so I'll give him a bit of time to jump in. Hopefully he'll jump in. Okay, guys. Welcome to the show. As I said, welcome to the show, and thank you for being here. Excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. So basically, the day before I start the show, please like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Do you know what I mean? It's free. It's free to do all those sort of things, and it only takes a second to do it. Okay. Also, please hit me up in the comment section and let me know how I am doing, guys. Let me know how I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just to make sure you do all that. So if you don't do all that, this is what's going to happen to me.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna check by my little monitor that I've got here. I'll check if everything is coming out okay. Let's check if everything's coming out okay. Then we know we're good to go. Yep, everything's coming out good. Everything's all good. So yeah, welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. We're gonna talk about the weekend's football. Okay, we'll talk about the weekend's football, the highs and low of the weekend football. There were many highs and also a few lows as well. Do you know what I mean? For certain teams. So yeah, we're gonna discuss all that. Okay. Just gonna do a bit of a notification quick. So. Yeah, should be in there very soon. Okay. Yeah. So basically, the first stuff I want to talk about in the show. I want to talk about to Shimikas. He is signed. He's put pen to paper and signed an extension on his contract. His previous deal was until 2025. Okay, but he's extended his deal to 2027, which is very good news because I've got a lot of time for Kostas Tsimikas. I think he's a good player. Do you know what I mean? As we call him in the Liverpool fan base, we call him the Greek Scouts. Oh, here he is. Here he is. The one and only. Easy talk, man. Big up, man. Big up.
That's good.
Big up. I'm all right, big man. I'm all right.
Good. I'm gonna get my lights all set up. That's all.
Yeah, no problem. I was literally at the day talking about Kostas Tsimikas signing a new contract today.
Oh, cool.
Contract extension. Do you know what I mean? Taking him up to sort of like,
yes.
2027, which I think is very good because I've got a lot of time for Kostas. I've got a lot of time for him still. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I can understand.
Yeah, it was very, very good that he sort of like signed another contract, and apparently, I think Trent signed his contract as well, didn't he? Trent has signed his contract, I do believe.
Yeah.
Or
did he sign it already? I didn't know if he signed. I think
he's on the verge of signing it. He's either on the verge of signing it,
yeah, I know,
or he's signed it already. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I can't see him going anywhere. Anyway, I can't see him going anywhere. And they're working out a deal with Matip as well for a contract extension, and it's going to be sort of like a deal where he knows at the day he's going to be like a backup. Do you know what I mean? A backup defender. Do you know what I mean? And I think he's happy with that. I think he's really happy with that. Still, you know what I mean?
Who's this on? Who's the last person you said?
Matip.
Oh, Matip. Oh. And I know that Thiago is also being the possibility that's being discussed of being, extended as well.
I think he would do it, don't you?
I think he would do it for reasons we spoke about earlier, before offline. But yeah, I think that Thiago would do it because the options that are available to Thiago aren't better options. He's going to have that. He probably will have the same conversation that Henderson had with Klopp. And if he's okay with that role to play on the team, then he'll take it. If not, if he wants more playing time or he wants to be, a player that plays, every game and every opportunity, then that's a different story. Then you'll see him most likely say decline and move on. But yeah,
I think he stays. And I read something before I come in line. I don't know if I still got it, but there might be a possibility. And this is what we was talking about the other day, and I said this to you, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
It could be a possibility is that Klopp signs another contract.
I think there's a high likelihood. I've been saying that as far as when it comes to Klopp, it's the same. I say the same about Klopp that I say about Mo Salah, and this is this is just my opinion, obviously. But I think that Klopp said year one. Very rarely do you say year one. This is year one on this rebuild, or this is year one on this team. This is year one period, and then not go. The last time he said year one, he ended up going 7 years. Okay. So if this is year 1/year 8, then I'm not saying we're going to get another 7 years out of this coach, but I'm just saying that it does seem likely that he will put in a decent run with this team, especially if it does well. And I think the same with Mo Salah. Mo Salah is going to look at it as apparently he published something recently on Instagram stating about his because he did, I guess they did some project at Harvard on his contract and the process it took and how the mindset behind how mindset of how he looked at the contract, how he looked at negotiations, how it affected them and everything else. And I think if anything, he loves Liverpool. One, he loves the fact that he's been to various clubs. Obviously, he went to Chelsea, then he went over to Italy, and now he's come back to the Premier League to try to solidify his legacy. But I think that he knows that he takes care of his body, doesn't drink, obviously is committed to his fitness, very similar to like CR7. And the difference that I see, or one unique thing about Mo Salah, is that not only does he love Liverpool, but he appreciates Liverpool. And all he wanted to see back was appreciation back from Liverpool to him. And I think that knowing that no one had ever gotten that salary that he asked for, or that he ended up getting, that was a sign of gratitude from Liverpool. We didn't have to get it. We could have just said, all right, cool, let's just cash out now on you, But we decided that this is an asset that we appreciate and want to keep in our team. So yeah, I see it as we do well this year, especially do the accomplishments I've stated or something close to. Mo Salah will stay too. I think Mo Salah will stay too.
I mean, I'm in agreement with you. I mean, you said something just a minute ago, and you said something before when we was talking about this when it came to Klopp. You said Basie and Dave, he's not going to leave in the middle of building something great. If you know what I mean,
right.
Yeah. Now, if he's got in sort of like he's got into Bosnia, he's got in McAllister, he's got in Gravenberch, yeah. And he's got like Endo, Endo is probably going to play the Milner role, yeah. Now there are talks at the end of the day that in the January transfer window he could acquire at the end of the day Andre, which is 22, and then Capia, which is 21. Do you know what I mean? And then you got obviously one person I forgot was Gravenberch, you know what I mean, which is like 21 himself.
Which is already done, right?
Yeah. So I cannot see a person building a young team like that and to say, right, you know what, at the end of the 2 years in there, I'm going to go. You know what I mean? I feel at the end of the day, sort of like he wants to see where it's going. He wants to see where it's going. You know what I mean? If I reckon at the day, if sort of like he was going to go in, like, in the 2 years extra that they put in his contract, if he was going to go in that time, I reckon what he'll probably do is just like, I'm not saying he'll buy any and every player, but he'll buy a certain player at the end of the day. He wouldn't buy a longevity player because he's bought a lot of longevity players. Do you know what I mean? A lot of players at the end of the day like that, sort of like that's got probably like 5 or 10 years in them. I mean, he's even bringing through that kid, Gerald Kwanzaa. You know what I mean? Which has got like 10 or 12 years at the day playing at the highest level. Do you understand what I'm getting at? You don't do those stuff if you're only looking to stay for a short while. Do you know what I mean? So I think at the day, sort of like Klopp will. I do honestly feel Klopp can probably extend his contract to probably another 4 years. Do you know what I mean? Because right, where can Klopp really go to now at the day that sort of like that he can, I don't know, sort of like show his expertise as such. The only one
he's not. He's not going. Yeah, you're right. He's not going to Real Madrid. He's not going to Barcelona. And I don't even think those teams even match his style of play, to be honest with you. And then he's not going to La Liga. He's not going to PSG. Okay, that's just not his. Those types of framework as an organizations aren't to his liking. The only other thing you could possibly see him doing is going back to Germany and as to coach the national team. And I think that, depending on Nagelsmann or how they do with the current coach, I don't see that happening anytime soon because if anything, you normally get a coach that's going to bring you to the World Cup. So that means that this coach for Germany is the coach that they're going to settle in on, that they're going to get all behind and say, bring us to the World Cup. So, I mean, that's just how I see it. So I don't see that.
It's true. It's very true. I mean, the only team that you can see him going to, well, place he can see him going to, is at the end of the day to his national team. Do you know what I mean? Because I think he's done everything that sort of like that he can accomplish at the day at club level. The only thing at the day that he can do is go on and win a World Cup with his country. And to me, at the end of the day, I just don't think he wants the stress of that. I just don't think he wants the stress of that, because you check it now. If he thinks it's stress at Liverpool and stress at Liverpool, mate, at the end of the day, right, a Germany job is more stressful at the end of the day than the Liverpool job. Do you know what I mean? Because what is it today? He is coming at the day to sort of like from Liverpool to sort of like German job with high expectancies. Do you know what I mean? He's coming with high expectancies.
Mm-hmm.
They're seeing what he's done with Liverpool, yeah, right? They're expecting, not so much as they're expecting, they want at the end of the day. They want at the day what you've done at Liverpool. And if you cannot produce that, well then you're screwed. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think he wants that heat. To me, do you know what I mean?
It's harder. Yeah. It's a different process too when you're doing for the national team as opposed to a club team. Club team is you get practices every day for the majority of the year with the club. You get practices where you're going to have places and parts where you're able to do development of your club, development of the team. But with an international team, it's not like that. The international team is you end up getting a team that comes for a week or two, or might have like a small mini camp where you get to go and try to get the system of the coach. But that coach isn't going to have you for the majority of the year. He's going to have you for segments of the year, and that's a harder process to go through. So it's, if you thought rebuilding a team like Liverpool or like a club team with the amount of attention that's drawn to the players in the process, it's that much harder when it comes to a national team.
I agree. There's a question here from sort of Ravi, which I find very good. You know what I mean? Are we seeing more confidence from Nunes now? I feel we are. I feel that they sort of like, if he misses a chance, he gets his head down and tries again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what he did yesterday. I mean, he missed a sort of like sitter yesterday, but arguably got a more harder chance he puts on the back of the net. Do you know what I mean? So he still keeps on working. He doesn't sort of like drop his head and say, right, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? It's like he works. And what it is with Nunes at the day is because at the day he's doing a lot more in that team than actually being a striker. That's what boosts his confidence. You know what I mean? I don't know how you feel, but that's my opinion on it. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I would say my answer to that question is, of course. I think that we are seeing a definite more confident Nunes, but I also think there's a reason behind that, and the reasoning is because he is somewhat tuned out social media. There's reports that he stopped looking at his social media feeds and stopped, or at least limited it, if not eliminated it. And I'm not saying that he's not going to go back on. I'm not saying that he doesn't have someone running his account, but I know that that's something that he started blocking out. And then that's the reason why, if anything, I keep stressing to people online, the ones that do the honor of joining the Mighty Red Army here, but also the people that I see out there that are red fans that continuously slander or continuously put down or continuously, knock this player who is working towards bettering himself, working towards getting some momentum, working towards confidence, and especially in the striker role. That's a role that relies on confidence. So one thing I've seen too, though, is that there's a difference of the amount of love and appreciation that you see at the stadium than you do online. And that alone is why I think that it's a difference. He has such tremendous support amongst his teammates, amongst the coaches. They all believe in him. They all like him. They all, they all want to see him succeed. Case in point, McAllister said that he got his first assist today, you know. And he said in the interview, he says, and it was even more special to me because it went to Nunez. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a reason behind that. This team wants to see him succeed because they know there's a player there. It's just a matter of helping him develop into that player. One of the problems I see of a lot of the rhetoric we hear online, especially from Reds fans, rivals understood, but Reds fans, okay, is that it's predominantly negative. And that's the problem, is that you got to realize you want the best from this person, but all you do is crap on his name, call it, you know, take it sometimes way out of line, utilize, you know, take things way too far. And it's one of those things where you're like, and you expect results. It's not how it works. This player needs our support. And that's why I for the majority of the players out there, you know, it's cool to be constructive and with the criticism, but it's not. But once it becomes repetitious, of you just continuously putting out that bad energy and then expecting positive results, you're kidding yourself. I don't know what universe you live in, but you're kidding yourself, you know. And that's something that I see strongly when it comes to Nunez. I love the fact that he's doing well, you know, and I'm glad that I was a part of the early campaign to be supportive and be someone that is not only hoping but believing that it will occur.
One of the things I liked about Nunez was after the game, the Newcastle game, how happy he was. He was just so happy. Do you know what I mean? And he got man of the match in that. Do you know what I mean? For being on literally for about 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, he got like man of the match. Do you know what I mean? And
deserved it,
you know,
absolutely.
To see how happy he was, and to see sort of like him, obviously, you know, he's speaking to Alisson was translating, do you know what I mean? And stuff. And then he said his little words in English and everything. He goes, "Thank you for supporting me." Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
To see
Something he's practiced. Something he's obviously practiced. Which is great.
It's good.
He's making an effort.
But like to see how happy he was, do you know what I mean? You know, made me feel good. Do you know what I mean? Because he probably hasn't smiled like that since he come to Liverpool. He probably hasn't smiled like that for a while. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, so you know what? Fair play to him. And then you saw the other game after that. You know what I mean? He didn't score, but he was working hard. That's sometimes like, and people tend to sort of like forget about that. They forget about the fact that today. So like the other things that he does for the club, for the team. Sorry, the other things he does. You know what I mean? And I just think he's an incredible player. Big up Toto Hammer in the building. Please go over and like and subscribe to Toto Hammer's channel. Please do that. Like and subscribe to my Young G's channel, man. That's my Young G. So go over there and show him some love and support him. Like his videos and also subscribe if you have not subscribed. Okay. I think the Liverpool job is more stressful than the German one because you play week in and week out. Yeah, I would agree with that. I can understand that. Yeah.
I think that it's definitely. I can understand the reasons why you would think it's more stressful. I just think that it's also hard. It might be a little bit harder because the results that you're going to get as a national team are more compact. So you have to. With Liverpool, we can continue to build on momentum. We can continue to build towards a final goal. However, with a national team, you're going into tournaments where you have to be on point immediately. You know, like as in you only get 3 games or something like that to get results. Otherwise, you're not even playing in the knockout stages. So most times, you know. So, you know, if you're in the World Cup, you get 3 games in your group, and if you don't produce, hey, it's next year. And if you're getting knocked out as a German, as the German coach, you know, you're looking for a new most likely looking for a new occupation or a new job at least.
Yeah, it's like, for instance, they sort of like, you know, with the league, what you got more longevity in the league. As long as you're churning out reasonable results. If you're like someone like your Sheffield United or you're Luton. No disrespect to Luton, but if you're getting the results and that they're getting, yes, it can be very short-lived. Do you know what I mean? But if you're sort of like churning out the results and that keep you safe from the league and stuff, do you know what I mean? Yes, there's more of a longevity to it. Do you know what I mean? League, club football, more longevity to it.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying, and they sort of like, this is what I'm saying about the stressfulness of it. You have to get results, and you have to get results quick when it's international football, because you're only with these group of players at the day, right, for a small amount of time. You know what I mean? And you're expected in the day to sort of like, get these results. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it will be like with Klopp. You know what I mean? He's with these players at the day for a short amount of time, but yet they're going to expect him at the day to get the same results at the day as he did with Liverpool. They're going to expect him to win the same things. Not say the same things, but be a winner like he is with Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? So it can be very stressful in that way. Do you know what I mean? Big up Solar P1. He says Nunes is a badass. Big up to you. Make sure you like and subscribe to Solar P1's channel, because he does some very good work over there. I like the way he puts together his streams. They're very good and make you feel comfortable. It's very, very good. It's a good watch. His channel. He's my G. He's an inspiration to me still. So make sure you go over and like and subscribe to Solar P1's channel. Okay. And also, when you do that, do not forget to like and subscribe to Total Hammer's channel as well. Same time. Okay. Let me see what's going on. No worries. We are gonna don't worry, 12 pounds still there. Just doing something quick. I'm gonna go on to, and then we're gonna go on to the games. We're gonna go on to the games now. About time we did it. We're like 27 minutes in, or 28 minutes in now. I mean, I haven't even touched the games yet, but that's how it goes. Let me show this. Right. So, our first game, I will kick it off. Man City 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Yeah, I saw that game. I saw most of the game. I think I missed the 2 goals. I did miss the 2 goals, but however, I saw them on the highlight. But I did see most of the game. It was a sort of game. It looked to me like Man City got their 2 goals, and they just didn't try anymore. Do you know what I mean? There was literally at the day sort of like gonna settle at the day with the 2 goals they got. Because I think they had it in their mind that they was gonna win anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, Nottingham Forest, to me, look good on the ball, don't get me wrong, but you have to put away your chances. You have to put away your chances. And Nottingham Forest had a few chances. And when you're playing against Man City and then where you get few and very, chances, you understand me? You have to tend to put those ones away, because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. What's your thoughts on Man City?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. What's your thoughts on Man City 2, Nottingham Forest 0?
Not surprising. Man City is going to. I've said it time and time again. The teams tend to, especially as of late, because of the runs we've had. Teams look at us differently than they look at Man City, and they look at us differently as in they look, oh well, maybe we can get at Liverpool. Maybe we can get a result despite it being Anfield, or maybe we can do this or do that against Liverpool. When it comes to City, a lot of teams don't really look at it as let's go out there and try to win. They just look at it as, if anything, let's just hope we can get a draw out of this or not get embarrassed. 1 to 2, and it's a shame, because City has that level of talent on their club and team, but I say it's a shame because it makes our pursuits that much harder. But because we have to go against teams upping their level, and they go against teams kind of like lying down and allowing for whatever happens to happen. So, yeah, Man City 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Not surprising. Forest is nowhere the same level, so not a surprising result.
You see the red card? You see that?
I did not.
Well, how it went, it was Walker Peters. Is it Walker Peters? It's Walker Peters.
Mm-hmm.
He clashed with Rodri, yeah, and basically they sort of like both went to tackle. Rodri ends up getting the ball. I think he goes out. I think he actually goes out, and then sort of like they both get up and everything that, and then they start squaring up with each other, and heads go together like that, and like Rodri pushes him, yeah, once, and then like Peters comes back to him, and he pushes again. But what he does, he pushes him by his throat. Gets him by his throat. So when there's contact in his throat, right? Peters goes down. Obviously, it's instant red card. Do you know what I mean? But he.
Rodri went for Walker Peters through.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Rodri was the aggressor.
That's a 3-game ban.
Yeah,
he
was the aggressor. Yeah, he was the aggressor because what is it? They got up and they're squaring up.
At least 3-game ban.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know the heads together like
that.
That
just banging your heads against each other and pushing each other could have been a 3-game ban. But then you going for someone's throat. That is certainly a 3-game ban. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And if I was Rodri at the end of the day, right? Yeah, and I put my head together to him and I pushed him, yeah, and he's come back towards me, and I will literally just walk off because I think fuck me, yeah. I'm expecting the referee to be around there now. And when I didn't see the referee, I would have just walked off. Because maybe he would have got a yellow. He would have got a yellow card. But he carried on. He pushed him again. He pushed him by the throat, yeah. And then he went to grab him again by the throat. But like Peters went down, kind of went down on the touch. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The referee comes straight over. Red card, instant red card. Didn't even think about it. Red card straight away.
Wow.
And Walker Peters got a yellow card. You know what I mean? You know, of course, at the end of the day, sort of like you got some Man City fans.
Yeah.
You know, saying they shouldn't have got sent off, but come on now. Seriously.
I mean, he deserves a yellow card for doing what he did. I mean, he shouldn't have done what he did, but well, we'll see. We'll see what happened. Was he mouthing off to the referee after he got it, or did he just accept the red card?
No, he was just kind of like trying to say he was just kind of like trying to state his case, or sort of like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
His case to say like, you know, it wasn't my fault. He started it or whatever, you know, one of them ones. But to me, at the end of the day, he didn't have to mouth off. What he did was bad enough. You know what I mean? You can't do that in the modern game. You just cannot do that. You cannot push the person once and push the person twice. Not only push the person twice, but you pushed him by his throat and tried to grab all his throat. Do you know what I mean? What's wrong with you? Do you know what I mean? You know. And then was it Edison and also like Archie Bargy would one of the Forest players and that. Do you know what I mean? It's like these guys, these man.
No, not what's wrong. I think if anything, City live by different rules.
Oh yeah, of course they do. Crystal Palace versus Fulham. We're not really going to dwell on this too much because I watched some of the highlights and it was boring as F. You know what I mean? You know, it's like you do get some sort of like good 1-0s. Good 0-0s. Or some good draws and that, but that wasn't one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do tend to watch because since I have access to stuff, whatever, I do end up watching a lot of the games. Oh yeah, I'm looking at it now. That's a red. I mean, he's like going like this, even if it's on his clavicles. Even if it's not like he's like that, but the fact that he's going forward, you can see it on. Yeah, that's a red card.
Yeah.
I might be. Am I frozen up, or is it my frozen, or is
Me.
Rod's? Okay. No worries. No worries. Well, okay. I'll help out with the show here because I think Rod's might be frozen. I'm watching the game, and I just saw Rod just told me that he is frozen, so I'll help out and take over for a little bit. I'm watching the show, or watching the actions of what happened in the game that we were just talking about, and let's see, it does look pretty bad, and this is early in the highlight because NPC up. Now I'm completely all by myself. All right. So yeah, I'm watching the highlights. This is the Mighty Red Army takeover. Big up to all my Mighty Red Army out there. Mighty Red Nation. Mighty Reds Nation for sure. Let's see. Okay. Oh. Okay. He didn't really go to choke him, or he did go to his neck area, but he didn't like choke and grab or shake, or, like really like try to choke. He kind of like went for. I'm watching the replay right now. They were getting a little aggressive in the corner. It looks like 46th minute of the game. It looks like. And he did just get a straight red card. He's now appealing. It looks like he's trying to appeal the red card. How he could think that that's like acceptable and that it's okay is incredible. There's no point in arguing on that one. Now, that's something where you just got to go, my bad. You're right. Pushed. They're head to head. They went back to chest. Oh, okay. He did go for the neck area, and then he realized about what he was ready to choke him, but then he did. It's Gibbs White that he went against, by the way, not Walker Peters. Gibbs White definitely made more of it than he made a little bit more of it than he had to, but by that time it was already 2-0. And yeah, it was obvious that, he went for the neck area. He then went down and he started bumping him again and started, mouthing off again. Okay. Yeah. He Gibbs Feeder definitely. Gibbs White, excuse me. Morgan Gibbs White. That's who it is. I think that's his first name. Morgan, right? Morgan Gibbs White then, reacted, definitely sold the fact that he went for his neck, but it wasn't as bad as it's being made out to be. It's a little bit of two players coming together and getting a little aggressive, and then Gibbs White making the most of it. But all the same, I think that he deserves a red card. He got his red card, and that's that. That is that. So, all right. So it looks like I am solo in Uncle Anfield Rodz Casa. So what does you guys want to talk about? Tell me if there's anything in the chat you guys want to talk about, or anything you feel about it, about the game yesterday, or about some of the games, any particular game from this past weekend that you want to give your insight on, or hear my insight, or eventually when Rod gets his computer loaded back up, if there's something that you want to hear from him when he gets back on, because I think this weekend was a fun to go away, but I am saying that while it's here, I say make the most of it. It's like life, you know what I mean? You don't know what you got till it's gone, so if anything, enjoy it while you have it. All right. All right.
I'm back.
Cool.
back.
Back in the house, back in the casa.
Yeah.
So yeah, what is go ahead.
Our next game.
No, go ahead. You were about to say.
Yeah, our next game is Crystal Palace and Fulham. That was quite boring, to be honest. That was quite boring, so I'm not really gonna harp on that one, really. Do you know what I mean? Luton Town won. Wolverhampton Wanderers won. That was a game. That was a game that I was supposed to do the stewarding for that, but there was a mess up with my shift and that. You know what I mean? I think it's mostly on my part, so I didn't get to sort of do the stewarding and that. So, but I went home and watched some of the game, and Wolverhampton had a sort of like a man sent off. You know what I mean? They had one. I did have a man sent off.
Yeah.
And 10 men.
And I think that resulted in a penalty, right? That resulted in a penalty for them as well, yes. I believe. Yeah. No,
he didn't. The penalty come later on.
Okay.
The penalty come later
on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay.
What it was, the penalty, the sending off was a situation where both went for the tackle. The Wolverhampton sort of like player didn't take too kindly to it, and he kind of kicked out of the player, and it's a red card. So, but then obviously Wolverhampton were ahead at that time.
Holy crap!
But Luton managed to pull it and get a point out of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the Wolves got the red card, and then like the penalty that you said that knotted it up because Wolves had an early lead in that game.
Yeah.
So even with the red card, they had an early lead because the goal came later on in the game after the red card, still with them being down to 10 men. That's cool. I didn't. Luton Town. Well, I'll be honest. Luton Town Wolves game. I did not. That wasn't like. That was about as high on my watch list as the Crystal Palace Fulham game. So I don't watch every Premier game. I will admit that. Openly will admit that I do not watch every Premier game.
I
tend to watch a lot of the highlights. I watch every game.
Yeah, but listen, you'd be very thankful that you didn't watch these. What's it called? You didn't watch the Crystal Palace game. That was paint dry business. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
I don't know what you're thinking today, but I'm thinking today, right? Luton versus Wolves. Wolves down to 10 men. Shouldn't have that been a game of the day that Luton should have won?
I don't know if they should have. I mean, look, when you play with 10 men, it's not. A lot of people think, oh, it should be easier. You're playing with a man. You're playing a man down. It should be easier. But a lot of teams then tend to be more compact in their formations. They tend to get more defensive, and if they're going to get the more defensive structure, it becomes that much harder. Like as in hypothetically, let's say you're in a 4-4-2. Now with that man down, you might keep up that lone player, but you're still you might go into a 4-3-1 or something like that, as opposed to you end up emphasizing more defensive shell as opposed to trying to get a result. And I think that they were fortunate, obviously, to get the penalty. They were fortunate enough to get a goal, to give some type of result for their home fans, because I know it was at Luton Town. So that's always positive. And I'd like to see Luton Town do decent this year. I don't know if Marion is in the chat or not. Hopefully she doesn't hear me say this, or her husband at least doesn't hear me say this, because I want to see Everton be in that relegation group. And that means that some of these newly appointed teams from the championship have to start winning games. That's as simple as that, So if that's going to happen, then, make it that much more harder for Everton to avoid relegation. So it is what it is.
She ain't gonna like you, mate. She ain't gonna like you now.
I know.
Well, her husband
Yeah.
ain't.
Her husband won't particularly like me for saying that statement. I understand.
No, but
I was rooting for him. I was rooting for him against Arsenal. He let me down, though.
I know. Really want him to for you to let you down. No, but I just think at the day, sort of like games like Wolverhampton, and you need to be picking up maximum points because Wolverhampton, and then they're in a dogfight themselves, and you have to pick up points off these. So I can't see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I can't see you picking up points off Arsenal. I can't see you picking up points off Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Man City. Can't see you picking up points off these people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So when you get teams like Wolverhampton, you know what I mean? You should be picking up maximum points off them. You know what I mean? But as I said to my little brother, when you got
because Wolves are going to be down there with you. Yeah, Wolves are going to be down there with them for sure.
But like Luton Town, right? When you got like a defender,
and if there's any time to win, it's at home.
Yes, I say, but they don't even win at home, my friend. Luton don't even win at home. You know what I mean? They beat Gillingham.
I'm just saying if there's any time to win.
Oh yes.
No, I was just saying if there's any time to win, it's at home. You have to hold your home field. If you don't, then prepare for relegation if you're struggling at home.
Right.
Because it's going to be that much harder on the road for sure.
Yeah. Right. We've got a question from
Question from Robbie.
Question: thoughts on Liverpool when we don't have the ball and the team defending collectively? I'll let you answer that question at the 12th man. Right.
So yeah, I know. I don't know if this is like a backdoor attempt to get to the high line type question, because I know Robbie hates the high line. But when we don't have the ball, I think that we are a more clinical or more structured press, I think, is developing within this team. I think that you're seeing a lot of, like, as in, for instance, when it comes to you'll notice a difference with Cujo, with Curtis Jones on the pitch. You notice that he has a very direct mind of exerting a lot of energy towards getting press on the ball. Harvey Elliott, same thing. When you see Elliott on the pitch, you tend to see more of a determination to press and break down space. I think where you're also seeing a lot of differences as well is, again, with our front line. Our front line, if our front line can elevate the press and create an actual consistency when it comes to pressure, I think that it alleviates a lot of the emphasis for the it alleviates the pressure for that midfield to be the engine. It alleviates the pressure for that back line to have the amount of emphasis being put onto the back line to hold their line, to hold the fort down against the actual offense. So when it comes to us collectively, I don't have an issue or problem. I think collectively, I not only think we don't have an issue, I think that collectively, Klopp having brought in Endo as a DM and not really playing him as a DM for the team consistently shows that we are more focused on being a possession-based team as to being a defensive-minded team when it comes to those aspects. And that's something that I think is like, we now have I've been saying it again and again and again and again. And hopefully it is starting. I'm I don't know if people or these people have been watching the shows or watching your show or watching some of the other shows I've been on, but I've been stressing the fact that, Endo is a DM for what we need a DM to be, but we're not utilizing that role of a quote unquote 6 the way that a lot of people think and have become accustomed to, with Fabinho being there time in and time out. We're utilizing a CM that is a hybrid DM, if anything. We're utilizing this role as being that's why we're seeing McAllister there, because we're looking at it as Curtis Jones is someone that is effective in the press, effective in his ball control, effectively knows the system, one of the long time components of the system. So it's and how amazingly he's grown into this role, that was left open by Ginny. And then we have Dom, who's basically ingratiated himself with the number 8 kit and has really put himself as a day in, day out starter for that other role that leaves one position left in that midfield. And you want to have, and McAllister is such a good dynamic player in itself that you're not wanting to, you're going to make that, I guess you say, quote unquote, sacrifice, if you want to look at it that way, but you're going to make that, you're going to say to yourself, or Klopp is saying, I'd rather have McAllister be this hybrid DM / CM than have an outright DM and not have McAllister there, because he's not playing an outright DM. He's just not. So, and I've also heard people say, I was on one show and they're asking what's this role? What's this thing? What's these new things? I've been saying it time and time again. It's why I said Thiago is going to be an amazing asset once he gets healthy and be able to utilize him in this role. But we utilize what you're seeing from McAllister is what you possibly most likely will see from Thiago when he comes back, but McAllister's going a little bit further advanced than you probably will see Thiago go in that role. And that is a regista, a quarterback. You're going to see him be a quarterback for this club in that role. And that's why I'm not looking or hating on our defense. I think it's more so our press and our possession is our defense. That's a long-winded answer. I'm sorry, but that's what I think.
Well said. Well said. Next game we're going to talk about is Brentford 1, Everton 3. I'll let you kick this one off. I know you like.
I love Everton.
You love Everton.
I did watch this game, actually. I did watch this game. I was pretty surprised at the result, considering that Brentford was playing at home. And Brentford is a good team. I was surprised I guess maybe Everton watched the Brentford coach on the match of the day or whatever. There was some Sky Sport segment where the Brentford coach came on and explained his system. He did kind of like the Pep Linders move by explaining how they actually work and what they aim to do with their system. And maybe Everton watched it and figured out what they needed to do. That's tongue in cheek.
Oh, you just said that. Oh, that's how you think. That's how you think you're gonna beat us, and they got beaten themselves. Right. Are you frozen, mate?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, good game. Marion's husband. Oh, no, I think I'm frozen. Okay, I'm back. I thought it was a good result, obviously, for Everton, and it possibly gives them a little confidence. I mean, to win away is not an easy accomplishment at all, especially when you're having such a difficulty in scoring, which is what we see Everton do. But I'm gonna go blank on his name. The striker. He's like a model. Sometimes he models and stuff. Calvert-Lewin, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Played well. came on and had a really confident and decisive strike, or not strike, but finish, and pretty much put the nail in the coffin for that game. Excellent game for them, and he did it as a sub. So I mean, like coming in for Beto. So yeah, good game for them. And that's about all I can say about Everton. It started to make me kind of a little nauseous. So.
Yeah, same. I mean, to be honest with Dave, so like, I was surprised as well. I was very surprised that Brentford got beaten at home, because they're usually strong at home. Maybe when they get Ivan Toney back, maybe you'll see a different Brentford. You know what I mean? But I was very surprised. But take nothing away from everything. They did play well in order to get the 3 points. You know what I mean? The only question I would ask Everton would be, can you sustain it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you keep that? Can you keep that going? You know what I mean? That's the only thing I would say. But other than that, yeah, they deserve the 3 points. You know what I mean? So, but I'm like you. I don't want to see Everton get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me just check this. Saturday, I do see Spurs giving us a game. I think we have to be on it because the way Spurs snatched their goals versus Arsenal. We can't give Spurs the key to the back door balls.
Yeah.
No, fact, but I think what it is
that is very, very spot on. I said spot on about your Everton comment. Spot on about the Liverpool comment too.
Yeah, but I think to me and Dave, if we stop Song from playing, we have got a good chance of beating Spurs.
It's gonna be very interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I mean, what's gonna be extremely interesting, I think, is going to be one. Spurs don't have a League Cup game because they're already out of the League Cup.
Oh yeah.
Spurs not having a League Cup game, it means that they're not going to have they're going to have a little bit extra time to recuperate and get ready for the game against us at home, it's at home for them. So. Yeah. It's going to be big. I mean, they definitely got some confidence out of the Arsenal win. I also think that Spurs not only did they get confidence out of that Arsenal win draw, but also I think that Spurs have the memory of what we did to them last year. They also know that this is an opportunity to really, keep pace with making a real push for top 4. I don't think they want to necessarily consider themselves title contenders as of yet, but definitely top 4 contenders is definitely in their scope. So if that's the case, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see when we go against them. But the other portion of what we have to keep an eye on is if Maddison plays or not. I know he ended up playing. He ended up continuing on after hyperextending his knee. Having done that myself in my life, I know it's a little bit easier to continue on playing, even though you hyperextended it, because of the adrenaline running through your body, and just everything that's connected to that. But it also is going to be interesting if he plays or not, and what he can contribute when he does play this in the home game, because if he's out, Maddison and Son have been huge difference makers for the Spurs this year. Huge difference makers. Son has definitely taken I keep saying it, that armband makes a difference. That armband, if you have the right mentality, can be a boost in your confidence and then a boost in your responsibility, and it can make a difference in the play that you show on the pitch. And Son has done that exceptionally, and Madison has been a really great addition for their club. Has been a really great addition.
With Madison, and I always say with Madison, is keeping him fit. That's one thing. He's a good player, but keeping him fit. And I just think with Song in the day, Song makes the team tick. You know what I mean? Nobody's making the team tick like Song at the moment. So I'm thinking that if you can keep Song quiet, like, you've got a great chance of actually walking away with the points. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. You know what I mean? They're playing fantastic football at the moment. But I also feel in the day that we have got the tools in the day to beat them. And it's going to be interesting because this is going to be our real test. This is going to be a real test in the day to see if we come forward or come back or sort of like, do you know what I mean? Or if there's literally more work to do on the team. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be interesting. Do you know what I mean? So, I agree with what you're saying. Next one is Burnley versus Man United. I watched that game.
I did too.
Yeah, I watched a large portion of that game. Burnley just haven't got the players at the day to sort of like to hurt a team like Man United, to hurt a team like Arsenal, hurt a team like Liverpool, and to hurt a team like Man City. Maybe Chelsea, but not hurt a team like those ones that just named out. Do you know what I mean? But they were trying. They were popping the ball about and trying to find their way through to sort of like to go and to get an equaliser, but it just never happened. Do you know what I mean? You know, a good volley by Bruno. Yeah, good volley by him. Saw them get the 3 points. Do you know what I mean? Burnley is another team I think is going to struggle staying up. If I'll be honest with you, they'll find it very difficult. You know what I mean? Because if they thought that Luton was hard enough, what about when they play Arsenal? Arsenal's coming at them sort of like 90 miles an hour. Do you know what I mean? You know, or like when they play us, for God's sake. You know what I mean? And you got Sabal doing his thing, you got McAllister doing his thing, you got like Nunes and Gap and all that stuff. You're gonna find it hard, no matter what team you play. Do you know what I mean? But Man United, you would have to say they deserved 3 points. I don't often like saying that, but you know, facts is facts. Do you know what I mean? So, what's your thoughts on the game, Tough Man?
I thought it was Man United got a really good result, obviously from the game. You know, if they're in a place where they're relying on players that like before this year started, there was no idea. There was no plan for those players to even be in the mix, much less being relied on so heavily, or relied on, or just utilized as they are being done right now. So you know, I know Evans, I believe, was the player that gave Bruno the assist. It was a very good goal. You know, I'll call for what it is, even though I hate it. It definitely makes me want to throw up my mouth a little bit saying it, but still, all the same, it was a good goal. And I thought that, hey, it's one of those cases where I thought that Burnley played decent during the game. They had some opportunities. They also didn't get run off the pitch by Man United or anything like that. But it's going to be tough sledding for Burnley. It's tough sledding for any championship team to make a real push for it in the Prem. You're going against, you know, some really accomplished teams, and you're going against some teams that have just a higher setting when it comes to the amount of attention they put in the game. And that was the case. And when you're at home, you gotta utilize the home crowd, which I thought the home crowd was supportive of them. They were behind them. They just ended up not being able to withstand the one moment of brilliance that Man United pretty much showed. Yeah, Johnny Evans did play. He played well. I think he got man of the match. I think he got man of the match.
It's not very hard to play ball against Burnley, is it?
You know what? I mean, like I watched Burnley play against. Not. I mean, like again, I watched. I don't watch every match in the Premier League, but I do watch a good majority of the matches. I will say that because I enjoy football to that level. So, and I do want to see our competition. I do want to see also sometimes just how what teams are rounding out to become. And I watched that Nottingham Forest versus Burnley match, and Nottingham Forest and Burnley, they both played very well against each other.
I would watch that. I just saw. I watched chunks of the game and I just found some of it was boring to me. So it was boring. I can't watch it.
I feel you.
Then again, if you want to get the 3 points in the day, sometimes in the day, you got win those games happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta keep in mind to the chat too. Football is nothing without Origi. So you know what I mean.
That's what.
Football is nothing without Divock Origi.
Yes, man. Question: do you see Onana improving, and does he trust his defense in front of him? No to the first question, and no to the second question. Take away.
I did not rate Onana before him, obviously joining Manchester United. Obviously, I have a bias, so my bias would be to say no, he's not going to. But I mean, there obviously had to been something that made, other than De Gea's age, there had to be something that made them say that they wanted this player to replace the Golden Glove winner from last year. I get that he's old. Or older. I didn't say old, but he's one of the senior statesmen on their club at that time. I understand that De Gea, all things must come to an end, but yeah, you're seeing the fact that he might be good with his feet, but you got to keep the ball out of the back of the net. That's the most important part of being a keeper. So I mean, so there are parts and points, and if that defensive front starts to waver in confidence with him, then yeah, they're going to see issues. And just like I said about the striker needing confidence, goalkeepers need confidence as well. If they have no confidence, you're looking at a struggling, effort for whatever club that you're representing.
Sorry. So this game, Arsenal to Tottenham to take it away, Toff.
I just saw Robbie's thing. That's funny.
So what do you think of this game then, Toff, man?
As opposed, for this question, I definitely see. Look, I was already. What's kind of funny is and this is why it's going to be very interesting with the numbers that I know I have to put more content. I got to make a concerted effort to make a lot more consistent content out there. But what's really funny about it is if you do see my appearances or you do see my videos that I make personally, it's kind of funny when you see what I say and people mock me or knock me down or say this or say that because it might be something that they don't agree with. And then a week, 2 weeks later, everyone's video is saying what I just said.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just funny because I put it out there early in the year. I mean, I put it out there before the season even started that I believe that you're going to see we got basically I think 14 or 15 all comp goals from Nunes last year. I said we're going to see at least 20 goals from him this season. I believe that we're going to see. I could be as bold as say that we're going to see an increase in his goal tally when it comes to into his premier tally. I'm not saying he's going to be the Golden Boot winner. I didn't say he's going to, outperform Haaland or anything like that, but I did say you're going to see, for our measure of interest, you're going to see Nunez improve this year, and it's just so funny. So yeah, when it comes to whether I think Højlund or Nunez is going to score more, look, the one difference is Højlund is going to be their outright number 9. He's going to get their appearance. He's going to get the most appearances as long as he's fit. He's going to be the choice on the team sheet. For Liverpool, Nunez should be, and I like when he is our number 9, but we have Hakpo, we have Hatta, we have we have really onsets of, or really high aspirations this year to perform not only well in the Premier League. I hope to also perform well in the FA Cup, to perform on the League Cup, obviously to win Europa. With all that said, we're going to have to utilize team rotation, squad rotation. So Højlund is going to get more, I think, more playing time, so he's going to get more opportunities. But I still would have taken that bet. I still would have taken Nunez. Højlund. So I just think that we produce more goals. We're going to produce more goals this year than Manchester United.
Okay. So give me your verdict on Arsenal to Tottenham.
Let me say this: big up to South Korea. Big up, and I say big up to South Korea for the fact that I don't know if Jacob even remembers or not, but I mean, I was on their I was in their chat because I befriended some Spurs, and I've befriended Jacob, who's a good person, a good guy, someone that I enjoy, chopping it up with, even though he represents a different club. And I was they were doing their pre-talk about the match, and I told them, I said I was hoping for a result, as in I was hoping for a win, obviously. But I said that I didn't get my score correct, which kind of sucks, because that would have helped me I would have won a lot more money on my parlay if I gotten 2-1. I had 2-1 Spurs in one parlay at least. But I can say this: big up to South Korea again, because Sonny, I said you would score 2 goals. You did me the blessing of scoring 2 goals. I appreciate you. And I know Arsenal doesn't appreciate you, but there's no bigger appreciation for you than Spurs fans who love this player, who have heard a lot of really, really anti Son talk about he's washed, or his legs are gone, or he's a purple patch player, or he's just not good, or not just not good, but he's not going to be able to step into the mantle that was left by Kane. Hey, more power to you this past week. Good game. I thought that I definitely thought that was it was a handball. I have no problem with the penalty. I also think that the goals it goes back to my comment about Maddison. Maddison was a difference maker. He put Saka on skates, for their first goal. So yeah, good result for Spurs. I know that they probably would have preferred to win. Obviously, every team wants the 3 points, but going up against a club that is slated to compete and be a contender for the title this year, and is your heated and hated rival, to go to their home and get a result, positive. Well, all positive, very positive.
Well, you know what though, I think Arsenal's problem started, yeah, when they brought on, was it Kai Havertz? They took, they took off Fabio Vieira. I think what it was, Declan Rice had to come off because he was injured. But like one of the changes that did happen was the one with putting on Kai Havertz. He fucked up the whole thing. He messed up the whole thing. They were playing a style of football and that they could have probably won in the game. Kai Havertz comes on and gets ruined. Why they bought that player, I don't know. I mean, fair play to them because it's one of our rivals. You know what I mean? So one will say, right, you deserve it. But Kai Havertz will be the difference of them winning stuff this season or not. That's what I feel. Because there was up 2 goals. I mean, Daka scored both goals. First goal was a deflection, but it was on target anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So then he gets a penalty. Yeah, and then Song, you know what I mean? He's kind of like allowed to do what he wants. You know what I mean? He gets his goal. He gets his goal, and then he gets the next goal. He gets another goal just after the kickoff of when Arsenal go ahead. He runs through. With Maddison. Maddison puts him through, and at the end of the day, right? The only end result that you're gonna get when Song's in that position is a goal. You're not gonna get anything else. It's a bloody goal. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, to me, I think at the end of the day, before going to the next one, I think, to be honest, at the end of the day, sort of like that's gonna be the difference with Arsenal. Kai Havertz. Do you know what I mean? You should have never bought him. You didn't need him. You literally did not need him. You could have got away with just getting Declan Rice and Julian Timber. And that's it. I don't know why you spent 65 million on Kai Havertz. You know what I mean? But that's going to be the difference. Okay, Ravi says...
yeah, we did that one. We did that one.
Sorry, that one. Ravi says, Roz, 12 on DR Sports, Alex, a Liverpool fan, and Flex, United fan. Yeah, I know Flex. He's from my town, actually. Put a bet on the show on who out of Haaland. No, what's the name? Pronounced it right the other day, I'll get back to it. It's Haaland, didn't it?
Haaland.
Yeah, Haaland and Nunes will score the most goals. That's easy money. That's easy money for Alex. Because the thing about that, right, is that Haaland guy is struggling at the moment to even score a goal. He scored 1 goal today, right, which was offside. I think Onana is good, but his shot stopping is questionable. I don't think he's good. I don't know why.
I agree with Ravi. I think he's good in the sense of that. Look, he came. I think what's unique against being a goalkeeper is you have to have confidence, and you have to have not only show confidence, but it helps if you have leadership. And if you have leadership, you're going to believe that, okay, I am obviously the last line of defense, but it's all about, I don't want to even see a shot as a goalkeeper. I want to see my defensive line in front of me take care and put out all fires. So, if you have confidence, it'll instill confidence in that defensive line. But it's all circular, it's all circular in that it takes confidence from the back line, takes confidence from the goalkeeper, all these different things all affect each other.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying, but I just don't think he's decent enough for Man United. Because what you got to think, right? I know we Liverpool and Man United are bitter rivals. You know what I mean? There's no getting away from that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But there's no getting away from the fact of the day that Liverpool and Man United are footballing royalty. We are footballing royalty. You know what I mean? Because nobody in the Premiership and they has done nobody in English football and British football, however we want to put it, has done the things that Liverpool and Man United have done. Do you know what I mean? So saying that now, right? What it is with Man United, they demand a better caliber of goalkeeper. That's why and they went out when they went out all those years ago. They bought David De Gea because before that they had that guy. What's his name? Edwin van der Sar, Champions League winner with Ajax. Do you know what I mean? You know, so it's always had pedigree at the end of the day in sort of like in their team as goalkeepers. When they've had like a dud goalkeeper like Roy Carroll, they got rid of him quick. Do you know what I mean? You know, but they've always had good goalkeepers. And I don't think Onana and they ticks those boxes at the end of the day. That sort of like, you know, that will say, yeah, a good goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? Because he's very suspect. You know what I mean? Because even against the Wolves game, when the arguably at the end of the day did have a good defense in front of him. You know what I mean? Because when you had no Maguire, you had no Johnny Evans there. You had a good defense in front of you. You still managed to just literally just get away, and that was questionable. Get away from getting sent off. You know what I mean? And stuff, you know, with that mayhem in the box. So I don't think at the end of the day, sort of like, if I was like a Man United fan, which I will never be, but if I was a Man United fan, right, I'm looking for players at the day, right, players that tick the boxes of what this club represents. Onana doesn't do that. Do you know what I mean? Spurs were decent. They come to attack, didn't sit back with Netflix, and she'll stop that. Gary's not nice today. Havertz offers nothing, and why ain't they starting Trossard? Man,
I think Trossard was hurt for that game. Yeah, no, he was injured for that game.
Yeah, he was injured. Trossard's another good player. Trossard's another player that day. Trossard's a player for me that, yes, he does tick the boxes at the day of what we want, what I would want in my team in order for it to succeed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there are players out there that you can get that tick the boxes of what you want and then to get you to that level. Do you know what I mean? Now, Kai Havertz is not one of them. Yeah, right. And Onana's not one of them. You know what I mean? And the things with Kai Havertz now, when you look at it, right? Kai Havertz was a player at the end of the day that was with Chelsea originally. So Arsenal
that's what I was going with.
Yeah, Arsenal must have seen the shit show that he done at Chelsea. And thought, why would you spend 65 million in him? It makes no sense. But you know,
I guess if maybe, you know, I know Arteta likes to be this, you know, he likes to in the Pep, you know, the Pep mold. He likes to be the smartest guy in the room, and you know, there's lots of things of like, for instance, why he got another goalkeeper this year when he already had a number one. You know, why he is talking about subbing in a goalkeeper during the game. You know, not because the goalkeeper is hurt, but because he wants a different, you know, he wants someone. A different approach towards, you know, the keeper when it comes to situations, which I don't understand completely, but I can somewhat grasp what he's trying to say. But I mean, when it comes to Havertz, again, it's one of those like he just thinks that he could, you know, there is a player there and that he can mold the player into the player he wants, and by showing not only the interest but the commitment to saying, I believe in you. He believes that possibly he could get a result out of it. Now, I know that Chelsea's culture that surrounds their club, whether it's the fans, whether it's the organization, is really, really it has been for some time. It's not because it's a bully, but it has been for some time. Has been a really tethered and just toxic situation, and he really. I think he still has remnants of that Chelsea culture about him, and that's just how I look at it for Havertz.
Yeah, cool. Brighton 3, Bournemouth 1. Listen, Brighton plays some fantastic football. Very fantastic football. If it wasn't for that mistake by the goalkeeper from Brighton, they win that game 3-0. Do you know what I mean? Fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Their movement, their technique on the ball. Do you know what I mean? Where they're
Sure.
able to get in positions so quick was amazing. As I said, Bournemouth went ahead. Do you know what I mean? With that goal. You know what I mean? From the goalkeeper made that mistake. They went ahead, and then Billy Gilmore put them sort of like, well, it come off Billy Gilmore, then it come off defender into the back of net and leveled it. However, the second half they brought on Matoma, yeah, and Matoma literally ran the show. Matoma literally ran.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, he scored two. He scored two goals, two good goals. But I do think at the end of the day, sort of like, as a defender at the end of the day, you need to get more tight to your players. You know what I mean? And you need to mark these players at the end of the day more tightly instead of letting them having a sort of like a free sort of like range of the game. Do you know what I mean? To do what they want. But yeah, he came on and literally and they scored 2 goals in the day, and that literally finished off Bournemouth with a 3-1 lead. Do you know what I mean? Bournemouth is another team I think is going to struggle this season, but I do, however, see them staying up. But they will struggle. Do you know what I mean? But Brighton, I see good things with Brighton. You know what I mean? You can't criticize Brighton at the moment because literally Brighton are just doing everything right. Everything that you want to be done as a football club, you know, on the pitch and off the pitch, they're doing it right. So, you know, the only thing, obviously, and they didn't get the victory in Europe the other day. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that will come. But like against Bournemouth yesterday, they looked electrifying. They literally looked like they could score about 5, 6, 7, 10 goals. You know what I mean? Just attacking them and stuff. Yeah. So fair play to sort of like Bournemouth. Not Bournemouth. Well, also fair play to Bournemouth, which we tell them we're getting spanking. But like fair play to Brighton. You know, he done the business. You know what I mean? That's what you're paid to do. You're paid to go and do the business and come on. So you've done the business, so fair play to you. What's your thoughts, my friend?
No, I agree with what you're saying. I think the comment or the question earlier about Trossard and the question earlier about Havertz are connected to what you're seeing from Brighton, and that the culture that's been built at Brighton has been a positive culture. It's been one where, again, this is something that I've pointed out and noted for when people bring up these, you know, when some people try to attack some of our legends or our icons, and that is, you know, there's a reason why Brighton went off and got, you know, Lallana. There's a reason why, you know, Brighton went off and picked up Milner. You know, what's that?
Milner, yeah, James Milner got James Milner.
Yeah, and those reasons are because, you know, they're quality players, but they're also quality people, and they help create and nurture a culture at a club that is productive and is one that you can actually maintain with players like that help, you know, solidify the locker room. And you know, it's one of the reasons why there's been a seamless transition from Potter, who deserves credit, because I mean he started this initiative at Brighton at least, and then for their current coach who's just continuing it. Again, I think Trossard is one of the reasons why you're seeing good results from Trossard. Isn't only because he's a good player, it's because he came from a good culture at Brighton and has now been able to you know, really take it to another level.
No, facts. Let's move on to the next game, and the next game is Hold on.
Take your time, Squidly. Me a ride bike and you ride bicycle and you lead me. Watch your Roach Gully corner. Squidly. Fully salt, you pussy clot in a ear. Too enough, man. Oh, the child. Squidly. Squidly. You alright? Where the bicycle at? Oh, the child.
That is all I got to say about Chelsea. There's some squiddly moments going on down at Chelsea. Squiddly moments going on down the bridge, my friend. Squiddly moments in the day, right? I am literally going to get your take first. I literally need your take first, man. I need the voice of reasoning here. I need the voice of reasoning to what's going on. Bring some reason into this. Come on, 12, man. I'm banking on you.
I think the reasoning is that, Emery is a good coach. I think that Villa is a good team. I think that it goes and shows even more recognition of the way that we handled Villa albeit at home, but still, handled a team that, quote unquote, was the first team to figure out our system of using an inverted fullback was Villa. It's one of the portions of the reasons why we changed up and adjusted and adapted our system to utilize, for instance, Matip playing on the right as the right back, as opposed to just having more of a rigid right center back. But it's one of those things where, hey, you know what, Chelsea, and a lot of the fans and the supporters of Chelsea, it's pretty sad what you're seeing, because what you're seeing is a case where a lot of people were making a big deal about them going out, spending money, when they ended up like beating us to Concedo or Concedo, or how are pronouncing it now, and they beat us obviously to Lavia. It goes to show you that it's almost like karma. It's almost like karma for the players, for the fans, for the club in general. And I can't love it any more than I am right now. I mean, I'm not wishing injuries upon the players. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is that the misery and the difficult sledding that they're seeing right now with organizing a team and putting together these contracts where these players you're going to see for a long time. Not happy with this team? Well, get used to it, because these players are on 7, 8, 9-year contracts. And that means that, like, chances are no one from another team is going to want to take on a player that is struggling the way they're struggling with your team. Unless it's Arteta once again coming in and saying, I'll take your garbage and turn it into gems. But I just don't see it happening. And I'm not saying these players are horrible players. I'm not saying that these players are unable to reach any type of accomplishments or any type of success. But what I am saying is they deserve every last bit of what they're getting. How many videos did we get of Chelsea fans just relishing the fact that they ended up spending more money than us? They ended up spending more money for the players. They ended up getting the 2 players that we were going in for, and ends up being that player ends up being a heavy result of both their losses immediately on playing. Ends up being that their players aren't getting playing time, whether it's injuries or whether it's just the fact of like it's just not in the cards for them to be playing in the system that he has. To Chelsea, you enjoy it. That's all I can say. Enjoy it, because if they don't get Europe next year, I don't know what they're going to really start to feel it, because they don't get Europe. That affects their FFP, or that affects their financial fair play.
Listen,
or
don't worry
now they're calling it like sustainability or whatever they're calling it.
don't worry about sort of like Europe. Worry about staying up. That's what Chelsea should worry about at the moment. Staying up. Worry about
They're not. Chelsea's bad, but they're not relegation bad.
No, listen. At the end of the day, it can happen to the best of us. Believe you me, it can happen to the best of us. You know what I mean? So like, they need to worry about staying up, much less than sort of like all this bloody thing. You know what I mean? Right, the next game. Let's go on to the next game. The next game is us. Right, I'll kick this one off. I saw the game, and literally, in the day, apart from what I mean, a lot of people are making too much of it. I think with the fact that the day sort of like how West Ham played. They said that some people say West Ham played brilliantly. West Ham play amazing. Listen, I'm no disrespect to West Ham, but there wasn't amazing. You know what I mean? And it wasn't brilliant. They played good. Don't get me wrong. They had a few chances in that, right? But yes, face it, if they played so brilliant, if they played so amazing today, right, there would be more. They would score more goals. They would have scored more goals. I say this, and I would say this. I think in the day, sort of like Liverpool are playing kind of like a Barcelona way, the way Barcelona did. Barcelona will lower you into a false sense of security and everything that, and it's them that's going to walk out with the 3 points, even when you get a one goal lead. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it was again. Do you know what I mean? Once we got this goal, we got the goal in the fifth for a penalty. Do you know what I mean? Once we got our shit together and we started playing ball and everything that, what you noticed at the day we was getting into the era a lot. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Luis Diaz had the ball and they right. He's made he's got a pass for Nunes. Nunes is running to space, expecting a pass back. He's passed the ball, and it's kind of like gone behind, sort of like Nunes, and it didn't. He's bubbled off him, and then obviously Salah's got all the ball. He gets tripped up, penalty. Do you know what I mean? The second, their goal, and this defense needs to be a bit more better. You know what I mean? Defense, and they looked all over the place. That's why I couldn't blame not one person. I thought it was like not an individual error. I thought it was like a back four error. Do you know what I mean? I thought obviously Gomez was at fault, Matip was at fault, Virgil was at fault, and Robertson was at fault. For all three of them was at fault. Because if you look at it, you can pick faults at all four of them. So there's all four of them was to blame for that goal. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, say, what we've done and everything, and we never let our heads drop. If that was last season now, we probably do A, lost, or B, drew. Do you know what I mean? If that last season. So to the mark of Liverpool being able to sort of like stick to it and come out 3-1 and get the 3 points shows to me and there's a newborn spirit in that squad. Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? As I said, sort of like, they got the goal and everything, but they couldn't follow up with anything. You know what I mean? In the second half, we more dominated the game, controlled the game. Darwin Núñez missed, as I said, he missed a sitter in the day, right?
Yes, he did. I openly.
Yeah. But what he did and they, which impressed me, he got his head down and kept on working, and he kept on getting in those positions that he can receive the ball to actually make a goal. So when sort of like McAllister and Day sort of like gets the ball in midfield, which I think he's improved in the six as well. When he gets the ball in midfield and he's like he looks up and he sees Núñez and he picks him up, and then Núñez does that technique where he literally pokes the ball by past him. Literally, that was a harder goal to score than what the other goal was that he got laid on for Salah. Do you know what I mean? But and what it shows that he's still working on. He's still trying to get in a position that he can make a difference. You know what I mean? And then Jota comes a little bit later on and seals it for the Reds. You know what I mean? So all in all, a good day at the office. I think. You know what I mean? yes, at the day, West Ham at the day, there were times at the day they played some good football, but you expect that from the West Ham. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
expect that today from a team at the day in
That is a good team. They have a good team.
Yeah,
I think they have a good team. So.
No, but you respect that with a team like West Ham that's in sort of like, you know, in above mid table. So you expect that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
And you expect that from a team at the day like West Ham that's got that Lucas Paqueta in there. Now that Lucas Paqueta in there, I am telling you, I think me and you were saying yesterday. Yeah, I'm sure it's me and you saying yesterday. If he went to Man City, yeah, it's all over. Would have been all.
Oh yeah, no, he'll find himself like a look. Wolves and West Ham are not the same level, but you know he'll find himself in a similar situation as Mateus Nunes is seeing with with City, and then his play at Wolves was not exceptional, but yet you can see that there's a player there. The difference is with Paqueta. There is a player there. Obviously, we all saw that on display yesterday. But at a team like City, or a team like Liverpool, or a team or another team that has, from top to bottom players that can excel and can accentuate your own skills, you're going to see a difference. So yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah, he would have been exceptional, and but the thing is about it, he didn't go to Man City, found God in the day, and he's at West Ham, but he's still making things happen at West Ham. He's still making things happen. So my thought is that day it's well deserved 3 points for Chelsea, and they played well, they handled it well. I'll say every player on that pitch, Liverpool player on that pitch, could cover themselves in glory. Do you know what I mean? They did well. They did very well. And as I said, like next week will probably be the big test for us. Can we go down to sort of like Spurs and get sort of like a result? Do you know what I mean? A result, and let's go sort of like in a good place. Do you know what I mean? What was your thoughts on the game yesterday?
My thoughts is this, and it's the reason why I have put the little moniker behind my name. Mentality Monster. Mentality Monsters is what this team has been growing since last year. It's the reason why I thought or believed they could have achieved something last year. It's the only reason why they even made even getting top 5, much less top 4 or making a run for top 4, was an accomplishment for this club, considering the hole that they had placed themselves in by their poor results on the road, their poor results with draws against teams that they shouldn't have drawn against. And it's one of those cases where for a long time I was saying, respect. I want to hear, our name being called out by and feared by rivals and everything else. And at some points, I still do believe that in my heart, honestly. But I also know that if we're going to fly under the radar and we continue to fly under the radar the way we are, I'm cool with it, because in the end, I just want to see us contend with City for this title. And I think that we have an opportunity of doing so when teams continue to say, we can go at Liverpool, when knowing they can't, but rather than sit back and park the bus, and hope for a draw or a result like that, they go and try to attack us. They go out and try to get a result. And in the end, that's plays into our hand, because I really honestly believe that we didn't go behind in this match. Okay. We ended up being the scoring the first goal. However, when they got the equalizer, I know a lot of people's, chest kind of deflated a little bit, saying, oh no, here we go, what's going to happen. And I'm saying the mentality monster exists in me, at least, and I'm hoping, and I know it exists in all my mighty Reds army out there, is that I wasn't scared. I didn't even have the dog here, and I wasn't scared. Okay, like it was a case where I saw them equalize, and I said to myself, "We're still going to get a result. We're still going to get a result," and that's what we ended up going out and doing, and by doing that, we showed and proved that Anfield is already a tough place to get a result at. If we are these mentality monsters that I speak of, it becomes that much harder to do. If we're these mentality monsters I speak of, on the road, it's going to be that much more of a probability of us getting wins than it was at any time these past 2 years, we could say. So I am so excited about this club and the mentality that they have, the fact that there are those fans out there that have rallied and continue to support this club. That, again, I'm not saying you can't criticize this club. I'm not saying that you can't have constructive criticism, that is, of this club. I'm not saying you can't have questions or want to have solutions or want to provide your own solutions, or even ask questions that you're asking for solutions for. However, that you might not be able to see. But that's the reason why, you're tuning into YouTube stations like this. That's why you're sitting back and listening to me, spout on about whatever it is I'm talking about. It's the reason why you're in your group chats. The reason why, you go to your local supporter pub, or why you're going to the match or to the games. It's all because you want to be in an environment that you have solutions that are provided, and or at least you have light shown onto subjects that maybe you just didn't get to see, or maybe you're not really versed on seeing in general. There's a lot of people out there with these concrete agendas that they hold, that they don't want to be proven wrong. They don't want to be shown up. They don't want to be bantered by their original takes. They don't want to, they want to be right. Everyone wants to be right, and even when people go, I hope to be proven wrong, that's BS. That's absolute BS. Okay. No one hopes to be proven wrong. You hope to be proven right. And when you find yourself in those settings, that's when you got to take a step back, hopefully allow for the support of your Reds brothers and sisters to get you in the right mindset, and really understand that this is a good club. We have good history, good heritage, good culture, good people, top to bottom. Whether it's the fans, whether it's the players, whether it's the club in general, I think we all do a real honorable action by not only believing in it, but championing that, really bigging up each other and supporting each other and supporting this club, because you got to realize that you want results. You ask for loyalty from these players. Let's show some loyalty to them too, and let's support this club. Let's continue to push forward and get these results. And I think that they're getting to a place and point where they know they have to make up for last year. They know that they let a lot of people down last year. They let themselves down first, foremost, but they know that they let a lot of players or a lot of people down last year, and that matters to them. And I know personally, I'm going to try that much harder for a fan base that shows me love than a fan base that turns their back on me. It's that simple.
Yeah, you ain't wrong there. You're not wrong there. So
you get to choose which part of that you want to be, I guess.
Yeah. The last game of the day yesterday was an embarrassing Sheffield United 0, Newcastle 8. 8 different scorers. 8 different scorers.
I think Sheffield United just sealed their relegation fate by. It sounds horrible. It's early in the year. I get things can happen, but that is to do that at home, okay, against a Newcastle United team.
Emotional damage.
That is. To do that
You know,
in front of your own fans, that's just not right.
the other thing is, yeah,
Just not right.
the thing is about the thing that, right, I'm going to say this, and I'm not really too bothered with the way it comes out because it is facts, right?
Mhm.
I was saying this to my brother yesterday, and he agreed with me, yeah? Some teams don't have no business in the Premiership because they're just gonna come up and go down, come up and go down. And some of them, they're going to be on this sort of like the end at the end of the day, right? The end of some beatings. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
what it was and everything, that it's just like Newcastle at the end of the day were just scoring at will. Do you know what I mean? They're literally scoring at will. You know what I mean? Whenever they wanted to score, they just scored. Scored. There was no offer of any resistance. Do you know what I mean? To sort of like
Mhm.
to Newcastle. The defending was shit. The defending was non-existent. They might as well not had a goalkeeper and a goal. Because I don't know what he was doing. At least you don't know what he was doing. And I'm not being funny, right? Such is the demand of the product of the Premiership. You cannot come in and put in a shift like that. I'm sorry, you
Mhm.
can't put in a shift like that and say it and say, well, that is acceptable. And then you know what's going to happen at the day? The first person that's going to get blamed is the manager and say, all right, we'll get rid of the manager. Do you understand what I'm saying? When it's the players really more time to blame, they were useless this day. There was a
Mhm.
bit where in the day, right, where this guy in the day, you know, he heads the ball like a defensive header. I don't know what kind of defensive header that sort of like that he was thinking, but he literally gave Alexander Isak, yeah, an assist. He literally gave him an assist. Do you know what I mean? As if you hadn't got, as if at the end of the day, you're not 7-0 down already. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It makes
Right.
no sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When
So,
that game was 3-0, yeah. When that game was 3-0, just to interject real quick. When that game was 3-0, I was just like, I'm not even tuning into this. It was already 3-0 before, before I got an opportunity to even like turn it on. And I was like, all right, it's 3-0. Game's over. I'm not going to end up watching it. And then for them to put 5 more goals in, I was just like, wow.
I
You're
didn't,
right.
you know what, yesterday I must have watched a bit of it and it went 3-0 up. Yeah. And I was saying with you, I literally, no, I can't watch this. And then I just saw the highlights. But to me, at the end of the day, sort of like, it was ridiculous. I don't even want to talk about this game, that game, because it's just embarrassing. It's an embarrassing look for the Premiership. I don't even want to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? You know, all I'm saying that day is like the these Sheffield United players need to take a hard look at themselves here, right, and pull themselves together. That's all I'm saying. Let me get to some of these comments that we've got here, piling up.
Yeah, who's Sheffield next? Sheffield has yeah, it's gonna be tough because they have West Ham next,
Exactly.
and
You
then
know what
West Ham at West Ham. So I wouldn't expect the result. I definitely expect them to try and come out and play in that game to make some amends, but I wouldn't expect much.
Wait and see. Sideline Football Show. Please go over and subscribe to Sideline Football Show. We were supposed to be on the show tonight, but obviously work commitments led him not to be on the show today. So there'll be many other times. I did a show with him yesterday. It was a fantastic show I done with him yesterday. Fantastic show. You know what I mean? So big up Sideline Football Show. Please go over and show him some support. He's a fellow Red. To go over and show him some support. He's got some brilliant graphics, you know what I mean? And some good talking points. Yeah, so go over, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to his channel. And he says, but we all enjoyed the medium rare Antonio Angus steak. That's quite funny actually, you know.
Yeah.
Currently, how
Not to
good?
put him in his pocket. Not to still has him in his pocket. I think possibly.
Yeah. He's kidnapped him. You know what I mean? Currently, how good or bad is our squad depth compared to the rest of the Prem? I think it's pretty fair. You know what I mean? I do think it's pretty fair. Don't forget that Big Dom sauce, sideline, yum yum. I love it. I love the positivity in with us.
Yeah.
Love it. And lots of
All the
laughs.
Mighty Reds out there. Proper Mighty Reds.
Loves again. Psychedelic Sciences, good evening to you, sir. Well, good night to you, sir. How are you? What you saying, my brothers? I hope you're well. Are we lifting the Prem and Europa this season? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I'm here for it. Jordan Hyman says, Jordan Hyman FC, make sure you go over and like and subscribe to his channel. Jordan Hyman FC, go and show him some support. He said, hi guys, hello to you, my friend. Newcastle think they're Billy Big Bollocks. Meanwhile, we finished them with 10 men at their home garden. Get in the bin. Psychedelic savage, you know. He is a savage, my friend. 12 man's in the building, obviously. Here we got here. Hey, Liverpool. Yep. Hey, Liverpool 12 man. Jordan Hyman FC is picking you up there. He's picking you up. Antonio thought he was a big man. He got told to sit down and stay.
Kendrick Lamar is there. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, you know those ones. He's heavy.
Humble.
My best tune when Kendrick Lamar is like, was it? I got a pool full of liquor and I dive in.
Yeah, that's a good song.
That's a bad tune, man. That's a bad tune.
It is a bad tune. Kendrick Lamar's lyrics are sick.
Yeah, it reminds me of time and day that I was listening to Apple. You know, Apple got their music in there. Apple got their radio station, didn't they? Apple and one of their radio stations I found in there. They used to play that all the time, Kendrick Lamar tune and stuff. And I remember that when that come on, I was like, yeah, that's a tune, blood. That's true. Jordan Hine says, let's slap up Tottenham. Facts, that's what I want to do. And do you think we'll win against Spurs, Brighton, and Everton? I'll pass it on to you. What do you think, Twelve?
Okay, yeah, I was about to answer it in the chat for him. I think we have a fighting chance in all three of those. I mean, obviously, Everton's going to come. They're going to play a lot of dark arts. They're going to have, I hope, and this is why I'm so critical of a lot of the refereeing in the Premier League, in that you see how the Premier League, referees the opening matches, they were giving, they're throwing cards for time wasting. They were giving, countless, endless minutes at the end of the games to make up for the time wasting. And what you're now seeing is, the time wasting still going on, but yet there's been a little bit less of cards and such, that go with the time wasting. So they've kind of adjusted to that. And I think that's so poor. I mean, I think that why is it that I get penalized in the beginning of the year, or I get penalized for something in the beginning of the year, and in the middle of and then you realize that you shouldn't have been doing that. All well and good. I'm not saying that you should, that you haven't done the right action of correcting a wrong. However, I don't get back what I just lost from you taking it away from me. So if you judge me in that way in the first couple of games, continue to judge everyone else the same way for the rest of the games. The last thing I want to have happen is people that we're competing against just have to be fortunate that they're going against teams that didn't do those tactics, and that's really, really annoying when I see that happen. But long story short, again, I see us getting a result against Spurs. I see us getting a result against Brighton. I see us getting a result against certainly against Everton. And I really, really know that all three of those teams are going to look to get a result against us, despite the fact that we should be the favorites in all three of those games. I know, Spurs are going to be looking to get a win. I know that that Brighton's going to when we go to Brighton's going to look to get a win as a result themselves. And I know that Everton certainly is going to try to do their best to get a draw at best against us at Anfield. But I also know that Brighton has been beaten at home considerably and it was by Newcastle, right? So like
can be done.
So right, so they can be gotten at home, and obviously Spurs are a good team. However, it depends on who ends up showing up for Spurs this weekend. If Madison's not in the lineup, that's going to be a major plus for us when it comes to less people that we have to worry about.
Yeah, this is what happens at the day when Klopp goes to Spurs ground on Saturday and when he goes to Brighton as well. This is what happens.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Denzel's funny.
It's true. It's true. You got to leave there with something, my friend.
Yeah.
You can't go all the way down to London and go all the way to Brighton and don't leave with nothing. You got to leave with something. I'm leaving here with something, big man. That's what I'll be telling De Zerbi. I'll be saying, listen, De Zerbi and Apostle Koshlu, or whatever his name is, I'll be telling them, I'm leaving here with something. Listen, we're leaving here with something. Mamba Clark there, man.
Yeah.
What's it called? Money Tree. That was a good tune by Kendrick Lamar, isn't it? Money Tree. Big tune in there.
Yeah, no, he's got a lot. His discography is sick.
Yeah, he's heavy. Is he West Coast? He's from the West Coast, isn't he?
He's a West Coast rapper. Yep.
Yeah, he's good a lot. I've got a lot of time for Kendrick Lamar. Do you think Gapper will start versus Leicester, or will he beat Darwin again? No, he wants to. He'll start Gapper. If anybody, he'll start Gapper. I think he starts
Hackpo simply because it's home. We want to see him get some confidence, continue to build on his confidence at least, and get some runs in. I also think that we will see Nunez start against Spurs.
Yeah, you start against Spurs, and you'll probably see the likes of Ben Dokes on the right, Jota on the left. I'm doing a show tomorrow, match preview show tomorrow, so I will go through like my predicted lineup and obviously predictions as well tomorrow evening at 7:00. So hold on to then. I'll tell you who I think will start. Psychedelic laughs. Laugh on my little meme. Jürgen is leaving with 3 points, hopefully. Yeah, man. It's true though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Listen, the only way at the end of the day that if you see your team improve, if you want to see your team improve, is when you go down to places like Spurs ground, when you go down to Brighton. You know what I mean? If you come away with 3 points, then you know that your team's improved. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I honestly reckon at the day, if we put our minds to it on Saturday, I think we can come away with 3 points. We just got to keep Son quiet. We have to keep Son quiet. We have to cut off the supply to Son. Trust me. Once Son don't get the supply, right? What it is with Tottenham, they look a different team. I'm telling you, they look a different team. You know what I mean? I'm not sure
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Endo start that match, to be honest with you.
Who?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Endo start that match, to be honest with you.
Probably. More likely. I'm not sure about Dirk. He needs to start scoring or assisting in big games rather than pre-season farmers teams. Yeah, but the only way that he gets to do that, right, if he gets a chance against the people like Leicester and so forth. That's the only way he starts scoring. And yet,
didn't he play? I mean, let me double check. Actually, hold on. I'll tell you if he did.
He played against the other day, and he played against the Austria team. He started against the Austria team. You know what I mean? But people don't expect, and they these amazing things from Doak straight away. Let him find his feet, man. You know what I mean? Give him time, man. Give him time to develop, you know what I mean? So I think putting him up against Leicester, you know what I mean, which you can have a good game, it's gonna be it'd be clever. It'd be sensible to do that. You know,
he didn't play, he didn't start, but he scored against them.
Yeah, in preseason he scored against them.
Yes, he scored against them, and he started, and he didn't even. It was a second half run for him. He started. Yeah. He came in the second half, I believe.
Yeah,
that was one of those games where like they did a whole line, like they subbed in like everyone, like as it was a lineup for the first half and a lineup for the second half.
Yeah. That's what
it was a 4-0 rubbing. And keep in mind, they had their starters in. They had their starters play the majority of that game. Like
and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think these are the tournaments that they that League Cup is when you put one or two real prospects in the team and see how they get on against like your Leicester and so forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they made 4 subs. Whereas we subbed in basically every the entire lineup. They only have 4 subs utilized in their attack. So they took it on as if it was like a like a real game. And not saying it's not, but I'm saying it was obviously it's a preseason exhibition.
Like a Premiership game or like a FA Cup game.
Like it's a cup game or something. Yeah, that's like normally what you would see. So what you probably saw in the pre-match or preseason is going to be very similar.
Yeah. So listen, at the end of the day, so like I would welcome the fact of seeing a Ben Doak in there. I would welcome the fact of seeing like a Curtis Jones in there as well. Do you know what I mean? And a Brasetics tomorrow as well. I'd love to do that tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And and he can shake it up with that. He can mix it up with something like first team players. Do you know what I mean? That said, so like these are the games that you're more likely at the day to see a Ben Doak and to see a Brasetics and so forth and so forth. And you know what I mean? And if they do win, they're not saying when they do win tomorrow, you know what I mean? Because I'm very confident, you know what I mean? And obviously if we lose in the day, I'll take the L. But like when we do win, it does a world of confidence for the players at the day that you won't normally see. You put them in the squad. You do like a world of experience for like Ben Doak. You know what I mean? Push their confidence up their confidence, and then then you maybe can start them in sort of like a Premiership game. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because they when they have a good game against sort of like a team that was recently at the day in the Premiership. Do you know what I mean? They start getting hungry. They get hungry at the day for more games. So yeah, I think Ben Doak is on the right path. Put it this way, he's at the right club at the day to develop. The right club. We should walk that Europa. Brighton are the other favourites. They already bottled it at home, so we should be lifting the trophy. What do you think, guys, about the domestic cups, FA Cups and Carabao Cup? You know what? I would like to do well in both of those cups, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. If not do well, if not win it. Do you know what I mean? Because as I said today, this is the only way you've arrived at your team. This is the only way and they will look, how your team's going to be playing in the future with getting all new players in. So we should be looking at the day to sort of like go far in these tournaments, if not win them. Do you know what I mean? Europa Cup are the thing that I think at the day we've got a better chance than anybody of winning it, sort of like Europa Cup, because we have got like Champions League pedigree, experience and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, we should win it. And then obviously, if we win it, if we do win it, that's 4 UEFA Cups that we got. Do you know what I mean? So it's just further good.
No, that'll be all the rings. All the rings for Klopp.
All the rings for Klopp. But what it's then doing as well to us, man, it's further increasing our trophy cabinet. Do you know what I mean? So what we're doing, and we're pulling away from sort of like these teams like Man United. Psychedelic sign. It says, yeah, we got that. Then you wrote Europa Cup depends on all the teams that drop down from the Champions League and on us getting first in the group to avoid that to match up against those previous mentioned teams. But the fact of the day, I do believe in the teams that drop down, 12th man from sort of like the Champions League is not teams that we haven't played already and we're not capable of beating. So I'm not too worried about that, but I do appreciate your concerns. You know what I mean? I hope Man United get dropped into Europa so we can knock them out of them as well. Yeah, man, that'd be great. It will be interesting to see if our squad rotation is strong enough to compete for all the trophies. Yeah, it will be. I think if we get 2 new additions at the day in January, that can further enhance our chances at the day of doing well in these trophies. You know what I mean? At the moment, touchwood, we're doing very well at the moment still, so I cannot complain with how we're doing. You know what I mean? And so good football. Supposedly is a beast. You know what I mean? You know? So yeah. Listen, you want to mention something about the lit. You want to talk about the lit.
I want to mention something about what? Say that one more time.
For the lit. You want to mention? No,
I got you. There's my exclusive take.
Yeah, man.
All right, so this will be a first, and this is an exclusive take. This is a Liverpool 12th man exclusive take. This is something that I haven't even put this on my own channel, but I'll do it. I'll do it here first. It's cool. I believe that we should investigate, or at least highly look at going in for De Ligt, who plays for Bayern Munich. Now, Bayern Munich has a player in De Ligt that Delight. I thought it was Delight, possibly, but it's Delict, or however you pronounce it.
It's you Americans, man. You Americans like to change the words, but I'm not feeling it. Stop that.
Stop. I make an effort to try to do my best to
sound out all the words. Yeah, I know.
To try to do my best to pronounce it the way that they pronounce it in their native tongue. But I think that we should go after him because right now Bayern Munich is in a position where they're playing Upamecano. They're also playing Kim as their two center backs. This is answering your question too, Shaolin. And I think that in this player, we would have obviously a 24-year-old player still meets the age crescendo that we end up liking to do. Yeah. And also because there's some natural links to possibly getting him to push for the move and understanding that a move to Liverpool could be a great move for him. There was parts and points when we were interested in him, obviously back when he went to Juventus, but considering he went for 85 million euros, then it was something that obviously pushed us away from making that move. Then, he went from Juventus to Bayern for, I think, like 65 or 64 million, I think, euros. I off the top of my head. That's just off the top of my head, I think. And that's, again, it's a large fee. But it was something that, the player probably demanded it because he is a good player. He is a strong force in the midfield, in that back line as a center back or center half, as you say in England. So I would like to see us get another center back. I have said openly that I believe that Happy Kwanzaa is a adequate and is somewhat of a, is a player I am very optimistic about having a future here. I liked Reese, all due respect, but I didn't think that Reese's body was transforming into the presence that was going to be sustainable for the Prem. I think that, but I think Kwanzaa does have the physicality of it, and he also has obviously some very good attributes already. But we do need that player with Ibu's track record with history of injuries, but also, and hopefully knock on wood that he doesn't get any more or that his fitness improves. With us having Matip being at a little bit more of an advanced age, and with Gomez being available to play either center back or right back, but primarily being utilized as a right back now. We need a center back possibly. I mean, a lot of people are asking for it. I would like to see us get a center back too. I was looking for Gravadol in the beginning of the year. Obviously because he's a Liverpool fan or was a Liverpool supporter when he was younger. He's obviously a talented player, and I thought that would be a great acquisition for this team. We didn't go for him. I say, if we were going to go, we had the money for a player like Gravadol. If we were looking to possibly spend money like that for a player on that level, I don't think we'll have to spend the same money that City did for him, obviously for Gravadol, But if we could, get the lick for 60 million, 50 million, pounds, 60 million, 50 million pounds. I say that's an acquisition that is a great acquisition to get. And I think that if we did get him as a center back, I'm not saying that he automatically moves Konate out. But what I am saying is that now, one, we do have cover for that, obviously, for when Konate is questionable or unavailable. But then again, we do have a player that plays with Virgil van Dijk on the Dutch team. So he has familiarity with the player and understands, and they know each other's tendencies and everything else. We do have another player then that would be able to be youthful enough and be agile enough to be able to fit the role of being a starting center back in the Premier League or in any league for that matter. And I think that what you're getting is a player that is defensive minded, that is a good defensive player, and it would be great to have him there. So I'd like to see us go after this player. I don't know, or I haven't seen any links to us lately as to us being linked to him or anything like that. So hopefully we can get some viral reactions and start the buzz going, and get maybe and get the interest poised. I also think that if we do get, and this is where I'll land with this because I don't want to go too long, Gravenberch, considering that Gravenberch was on, let's keep open mind, people. Gravenberch was on Bayern. Gravenberch is now, Gravenberch went through the exact same things that you're seeing happen to De Ligt. And with that said, if Gravenberch, who I'm sure has some type of open relationship with him, whether it's from the national team or whether it was with his time with Bayern, could say, hey, man, push for this move specifically to be moved to Liverpool to help, facilitate that move, but also facilitate a price that Liverpool can make it at. If a player does put that extra effort into saying, I want to move out and I want to move only to this team, very similar to what happened with Caicedo, or what's happened with a couple of different players throughout the league, we could see this happen. And I think that would be a great acquisition. Virgil, get on the phone, call your boy up, Hackbo, get on the phone, call your boy up, or when you go to the national team, holler at him, say what's good,
Holler at your boy, man.
Holler at your boy. So, yeah.
Ravi says, question for you, 12 man question: when did you stop calling football soccer?
When did you stop calling? when did you stop calling football soccer? Or when did I stop calling soccer football? Most likely, since I'm American. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I stopped the same time. I stopped calling soccer football the same time the English stopped calling soccer football, considering the English made up the word soccer. Okay. So that's about when I stopped calling it soccer.
You tell him, 12 man. You tell him. Psychedelic Scientist says it's promising that we are already challenging, yet we can still upgrade the squad. I haven't heard as many people saying FSG out since we started this season. Well, yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Winning changes mentalities immensely.
Oh, of course. Bajan Barnes, Bajan Red TV. Big up Bajan Red TV. That's my Caribbean brother there. Caribbean brothers, I must say. Bajan Barnes, Bajan Pops, and Rasta Crab. Please go over and like and subscribe.
And Bajan Pops too.
Yeah, I did. I said that.
Oh, you said my fault.
No,
Bajan Angel.
Bajan Angel.
Right.
Yeah, Bajan. Don't forget Bajan Angel. Sorry, don't forget.
They've got their own little Fab Four now. So
yeah, as I say, we not do that. Make that mistake. When I make that mistake to my South American brother, I say "Lo siento, amigo."
There you go. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, it got to be done, fellas. It got to be done. So yeah, big up. Make sure you like and subscribe to their channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. They do some brilliant work over there. It's all fun and games over there. They have some brilliant shows and that.
Absolutely.
I try to get on there sometimes, but it's a bit difficult because their time
difference, sure.
It's different. So, but yeah, brilliant show. Make sure you like and subscribe to this to their channel. Show some support. Big up to you. And Club out as well. Haven't heard it anymore. I think we will make moves in January to make sure we challenge for the Prem and Europa. I think so as well. I totally agree with that.
Agreed.
Psychedelic, totally agree. That's well agreed. Big up Bajan Reds TV. That's come from Psychedelic. Psychedelic also says, will Chelsea crawl out of the sewer such who this season? Think things could be worse. Imagine supporting Chelsea. It's not looking good. No, it's not. We started this season on another level compared to last season. Facts. You know what I mean? I don't think I think at the day their best finish at the day will probably be the same as they did last season, 12th. You know what I mean? Big up Bajan Reds and everyone. That's come from Ravi. I didn't realize you were the that accent. That agent.
The agent. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I'm Benjamin Buttons. I'm the Benjamin Buttons of Reds.
Because that's true. When we brought the game to sort of like going to
I prefer Gomez. This is Jay Kismet. You never walk alone. Saying I prefer Gomez at right back, more at right back than Trent, and a midfielder of Trent, and having a midfield of Trent, Dom, and Maka looks fire.
Cool. That's true. For the last couple of before we head up, I can't lie. It was I was saying FSG out during the summer, but I am a loyal Klopp supporter, so it's good to see us winning again. Facts, my friend.
Yes.
Hi, Bajan King and Bajan Angel. Lots of laughs coming from Repper. Sorry, come from Repper. Big up yourself. Turfman is the guy that still wears baggy jeans, a baggy jeans jacket, and Timberland boots. Lots of laugh. That's East Coast.
I got me like I'm DOS Effects or something, right?
Oh, DOS Effects was my jam back in the day,
Yeah. Onyx or something. There you go. There's some 90s shout outs.
Onyx, man.
Yeah,
The boys be boys.
yeah, that was the jam.
That was a time back in the day, boy.
It was.
They don't know about us, 12, man. They don't know about us.
Golden era.
Any updates about Trent returning and Thiago? Not as yet, but I'm going to look for something for tomorrow's show. I'm going to look for something for tomorrow's show for you, Psychedelic. So big up to you, Rod, with the new YouTube channel. What else with the YouTube channel? Learn Spanish with Uncle Rodz.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Big up, Psychedelic shouting that's coming from Beijing Reds, and salute Beijing that's come from Psychedelic. And the last one, Rodz 12 man, did you hear? Modric is looking for a loan move from Chelsea.
That could be true.
Got a little cookie high, stuff like that.
Camp Low is my jam. Camp Low is that's my I love Camp Low. Luciano is my song for sure.
Yeah. Who are Camp Low? What is that?
Camp Low, they're a band. Not a band. They're like a rap group.
All right. Okay. I've been known to listen to some rock tunes, you know.
Yeah, no, they're a duo, but or not duo, but they're Camp Low is duo. That's all. But they're from New York. They're hip hop.
You know that which rock band's got that daughter Liv Tyler?
What?
You know,
you mean that's Aerosmith.
All right, yeah, his daughter's. Oh. I ain't saying nothing anyway. So I get counted.
Yeah, keep it PG.
But did you see that? Did you see that video that she done to one of these tunes, isn't there? And it was Liv Tyler and I'm sure, was it Alyssa Silverstone? I'm sure it was Alyssa Silverstone. Was it Alyssa Silverstone? They look hot, man. I don't care. Anyway. Caicedo Lavia must be looking at the Prem tables and thinking, why didn't they join Liverpool? They getting paid to be 14th. Right. Yeah, they've got one there, and then you got like the rapper from Onyx. Wasn't he a was it in Mauritia? Yeah, he was. Yeah, I think he was actually. He was, isn't it? The rapper from Onyx was in Mauritia,
possibly. You talking about Sticky Fingers, maybe, or something?
Yeah, Sticky Fingers.
They were all very talented, as I said. You know. So.
Yeah.
I know. I got a jet pretty soon because we're going back because you're trying to pull me into these 90s. I love 90s hip hop.
Hey,
trust me on that.
90s hip hop. 90s hip hop. Just before we go in, I think that 90s hip hop was written there. There's never been an era like it, and there'll never be an era like it again. 90s hip hop. Because I come from a dancehall background.
Lucini. I mean, but yeah.
That was my thing, dancehall. I come from that background. You know what I mean? But I saw like hip hop as well back in them days because there was some good jams like the Lost Boys. They had as I said, Daz Effects, Onyx. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Mobb Deep. All those. Yeah, DOS, like you said, DOS Effects.
Rock and CL Smooth.
Cypress Hill. Even I mean, this is West Coast, but even Cypress Hill, or all the Funky Homo Sapien.
Stop it now.
So many. There's so many rappers out of that era that were like, that were amazing. Tribe Called Quest. That's all day, every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the vice president jamming out to Tribe Called Quest.
She wasn't it. She was
She was
actually
getting it
having
in.
it, wasn't she?
She was getting it in.
She was having
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, listen, we have come to the end of the show. We'll have to do sort of like a type of show like this. You know what I mean? Where we talk about 90s hip hop and stuff. 90s hip
Yeah,
hop.
I'll definitely do that.
We'll have to do something like this in the near future. Do you know what I mean? And you can like obviously interact with it and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And maybe sort of like 12 man might do some rapping for you. You know?
Split some bars.
You know those ones.
I'll put my bag. I don't know. I don't have any Timberlands, but we'll put my baggy jeans on, my Janko jeans, and I'll have to look for a baggy jacket or something.
Well,
my 8-ball jacket. I do not have an 8-ball jacket. All right, I do not have an 8-ball jacket.
Well, I'll try and find one of a cross colors one.
Yeah, or cross colors. Yeah, there you go.
Remember that? Or like FUBU.
Yeah, FUBU.
For you, by you. You know
That's
what I mean?
right. For us, by us. For us, by us. Yes.
Oh, yeah, for us, by us. Yeah. I never know. My mistake, sorry. But yeah, so listen, we've got to go at the end of the day. But like, thank you for everybody for joining us tonight. Do you know what I mean? For joining us tonight. Thank you for rocking with us. Listen, if you're going to watch this if you watch this show on a replay, please like and subscribe to the channel and also hit me up in a comment. Okay. On the road to
1K.
123 to go. Okay.
Get it.
Also,
That's
big up Ravi, big up Psychedelic Scientist, big up Hazmet, big up Sideline, Sideline Football Show, big up Beijing Reds TV, big up Chew Dog, and big up everybody else that I haven't mentioned in the chat. Big up to you.
Yeah, man. And chat is on fire with the.
Yeah, I know.
They're on fire with the selections. I love it.
We'll have to definitely do a show soon, and we just talk about 90s hip hop. Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, that could be a 2-3 hour show for sure.
Yeah, I'm up for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So we'll definitely sort something like that out. We have to put our heads together and sort that out. We'll definitely do that.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But listen, in the meantime, got to go. I'll be back tomorrow evening at the earlier time of 7 o'clock for the match preview show of Liverpool versus Leicester in the EFL third round cup. You know what I mean? At Anfield. I'll be back for that. So like, join me for that. I'll go through the predictive lineup. I'll go for score predictions and all everything interesting to do with the one and only Liverpool. Okay. Just got to this one.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to Anfield Uncle Rodz channel. You never walk alone.
Peace, love, and respect. Oh, just before you go, can you just mention your channel quick before you go?
Yes.
Mention your channel quick before you go.
Sure. So just as I was saying, just keep the Pete Rock, CL Smooth, Will They Reminisce Over You going on in your mind as you think about what I got to say. Hey, please subscribe, please share, please comment, please like, do all the different things. If you don't want to, I understand. Maybe that's your nature. Maybe that's just your preference. Maybe you're trying to set a point. But if you are a Red out there and you believe in the moniker of You'll Never Walk Alone, it's more than a song, it's an intention, and it's an intention that you want to show as a true attribute for all of us, and for all of us to continue to really just prosper from. Please do be sure to share at Liverpool 12th Man. Just tell them to subscribe. It's free. It's a matter of just getting a part of a positive movement in a positive setting that is trying to big up our Reds, big up the Mighty Red Army, big up our Mighty Reds Nation, and to continuing moving forward, with great people, great content creators like Anfield Uncle Rodz, as in like Beijing Reds TV that was in here earlier, as in Sideline Football that was in here earlier. all these different creators, please just continue not only to support us, but to try to get the message out and share. Be sure to say, hey, hit a subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all these different things. And it doesn't cost anything. It's just a matter of you're showing your support as a Red, and that's the least we can do. I see it. So, yeah, I'm gonna get, like Robbie said, I'm gonna get into. I might not be in New York, but I'm gonna represent because I got the LA on. But I'll be in New York state of mind. And how about we get into a Red state of mind and do that? So let's get Anfield Uncle Rodz up to 1K. Let's get my channel moving as well.
Yeah,
let's get it up to 100K. Okay, and let's just make this happen. Let's make this happen. Let's make the movement so powerful that people understand that the Reds are a true presence, no matter where we are in the world.
No problem. Listen, everybody, peace, love, and respect. Peace, peace, peace.